Let's talk about time management on your PMP exam. So if you've been following my video, you notice I've always been talking about how short the time can be on the PMP exam. I know it's 230 minutes, but it can be so short, can feel like 50 minutes. So some people don't finish their exam. Some finish on time, but majority I've spoken with take the entire time to finish the exam. Some of us have time left. But so many people tend to run their time out on the exam and sometimes have to submit without finishing the entire questions. I've spoken to people that had 20 questions left, and I feel like you would have gotten more answers if you were able to answer everything. So the probability of getting more is higher. So today I'll be telling you things to do to get more time and finish the exam on time. Hey there, welcome to PM with Mo. If this is your first time, my name is Mo and this is PM with Mo. I share everything I know about project management, product management, career development, and personal development. And if you're interested in growing, click on the subscribe button so we can all grow together. And to my regular subscribers, thank you for joining once again. Here's a regular thumbs up. I love you all. So today, I'll be sharing some incredible hacks to help you gain more time during the PMP exam. If you're taking the PMP exam, you know the exam structure, you know how it is laid out, and I promise you the time can feel very short. I know you have 230 minutes, but it can feel extremely short. You know when you're in the gym and you're on the treadmill or you're doing a plank and your 10 minutes seems like 3 hours. So in the PMP exam, it's not like that. Your 230 minutes is the other way around. It's short. It feels like 1 hour. So I'll be telling you how to manage your time in the PMP exam. First things first, know your battlefield. Understand the PMP exam structure inside and out. You know the exam consists of 180 questions to be completed in 230 minutes, and this sums up to around 75 or 72 seconds per question. Remember, you can only spend a little above a minute for each question, and then the exam is divided into 3 phases. You have breaks in between. You have 10-minute breaks. So that 10-minute break is not added to your 230 minutes. So with the two 10-minute breaks, you have 250 minutes to answer 180 questions and take 2 breaks in between. So the exam is broken down into 3 sets of 60 questions and 10-minute break after every 60 questions. So I'll be teaching you how to break down your time and answer questions so you can gain time in this exam. First things first, the exam starts with the time at 230 minutes. So it's a countdown clock. It may be more difficult to track and you don't want to have to stretch your brain trying to calculate your time while you're writing the exam. So here's what I did during my own exam. Remember, you have 3 sets of 60 questions and then the time starts at 230 minutes and counts down. So plan to spend about 75 minutes on each set. So 75 times 3, that's 230 minutes. Try to spend at most 75 minutes on each set. So by the time I finish my first set, I knew I should have at least 155 minutes left. Like when I say finish now, I mean finish answering your questions, review, check the ones you marked for review, and go back to it, answer them. After you've completed your first set of questions, you should have 155 minutes left or more. Then the exam asks you if you want to take a break. So I advise you to take the break. Is very important. Once you say yes to take the break, your timer starts to count from 10 minutes down. So during the break, you can take tea, take coffee, take bathroom breaks. Just keep yourself active. Let your blood flow. Because you've been sitting in front of the camera for 75 minutes, so take that break. When you return to your computer and you click on continue, your timer continues counting down from 155 minutes where you left it. And then you do question 61 to 120. Your time should be at least 80 minutes by the time you are done with question 61 to 120. So it can be more, but try not to make it less so you can have time to finish the entire exam. Then you submit, and then you have another 10 minutes break. You see, I'll advise you to take the second break, like your brain will be fried. So I advise you to take that second break. You stayed over 2 hours on your computer taking an exam. So I advise you to take that second break. I think I forgot to mention that once you submit a set, you cannot go back to that set. So review your work before submitting. Once you finish question 1 to 60, submit, take break, and then you start question 61 to 120. That way you cannot go back to question 1 to 60. So when you are answering your 1 to 60, you can answer, mark for review, jump from question 59 to question 2, and do all sorts of things. And when you click on submit, they ask you to review again. You review, and then once you submit and you see that break pop up, you can't go back to question 1 to 60. So it applies to each phase. Let's say you're in your last set. Your time should be around 80 minutes. You repeat the same cycle of answering, submitting, reviewing, and that's the last submission, and you wait for your results. Your results should come in less than 24 hours. I think mine came in about 10 hours because I wrote at home. I heard some people get their results immediately. It used to be immediately, but mine came in 10 hours. So if your results should come in less than 24 hours. You see, as you do your exam, keep in mind that the time should be around 155 minutes when you finish the first set, and then 80 minutes when you finish your second set. The worst should be around 75 minutes when you're starting your third set. So have this at the back of your mind so you don't have to struggle with checking or calculating your time, because it's a countdown timer. The other time hack I'll be sharing is spend less time on easy questions and more on harder questions. You know, I have just mentioned that 75 seconds for every question, and it's not mandatory. There are some questions that will be way easier. You cannot spend your time watching clock instead of reading and answering questions. So if you get easy questions, if you come across easy questions that you can answer in 30 or 40 seconds, spend less time on it. So that way you are able to gather extra time for more difficult questions. Also, when you come across difficult questions, I've said it before, read the answers, read the end of the questions, read the answers, then go back to read the entire question and answer. You see, that way you're able to know what the question is talking about and avoid spending so much time reading the question and rereading it. If it still seems difficult, pick an answer, mark for review, and move on. Then you go back to it while you're reviewing your questions or your answers. Also, don't forget to study the PMI main site. Remember, you should allow the team do the work. Don't fire people, analyze things, communicate with stakeholders, manage your team properly. You see, these stakeholders are there to help you in answering questions. And then instead of having to spend so much time, you can just apply this mindset into selecting the best choice answer for the exam. So while you're answering, tackle the easy questions first. And then if you come across a difficult question, go through it. If it's proven to be more difficult than expected, select the best choice, mark for review, continue, and then you come back to it. And that tip is when you encounter a very tricky question and you've marked for review and come back and you still have time, use the elimination method. Narrow down your choices by eliminating the obviously wrong answer. So this increases your chances of picking the right answer, and they are not stuck and spending so much time on. But in summary, keep your eye on the clock. Move on if you have to, mark for review if you have to, but keep your eye on the clock. That way you're not wasting so much time on a question. You see, people say drag and drop questions takes more time for them, but for me, I really enjoy seeing them because it took a shorter time for me. I am a fast reader, so I can quickly read the options and read the other side, and I can do the drag and drop. So remember, preparation and strategy are key to acing the PMP exam. Stay calm, stay focused, don't let anxiety slow you down. I know sometimes it can be tiring when you start and you don't know the first few questions, you begin to panic. Please, panicking will not help in this case. So be calm. A calm mind works faster and more accurately. So be calm. You can even jump to question 10, and then when you catch on, you now come back to question 1 to 10. If you know it is giving you or making you anxious, use these hacks to get more time and boost your confidence in the PMP exam. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share, and like, subscribe also for more tips. Good luck and see you at the top. With love, PM with Mo. Bye.